So this is try number 37 on getting my motor in. So instead of wrapping these, putting them on, throwing it in just for them not to fit, what I decided to do was throw them on and then test fit the motor to make sure that they cleared. So what's happening before is we were wedging on basically sort of it's like the apex of the primary tube on either side was actually wedging itself with the unibody. So instead of hammering my frame, I decided to buy some aftermarket headers like you guys saw previously, and what I'm going to do now is attempt to wrap these while they're mounted to the engine. I was able to do it on the engine stand no problem, but this is a little bit different. It's mounted to the subframe. So that being said, if you haven't noticed, my audio kind of sucks. That's because my microphone was damaged and I no longer have a microphone, so unfortunately I don't have that. But bear with me, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get this done. I need to wrap these. I'd like to get one side done today, one side done tomorrow, or if I'm hauling ass, it'd be nice to have both of them done tonight and just go from there. So we'll just get started, see how far we get, and then just go from there. So I hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you guys at the end. Peace. So when you're wrapping headers, the whole purpose behind this is to hold heat inside of your headers, which actually promotes the scavenging effect, which is in essence, it's basically your exhaust flow is constantly pulling flow from your cylinder. So in the easiest way possible, what it's doing is pulling a vacuum. As opposite as that seems, it's pulling pulses by pulses, creating what they call a scavenging effect. So it promotes the scavenging effect in your primary tubes, and on top of that, you're bringing down engine bay temperatures by holding all your heat in your exhaust. And the hotter the exhaust is, the better it flows. Obviously there's extremes to that. If you have this at 1500 degrees, that's not going to work. But what I'm saying is we want to keep all of our heat in our exhaust pipes and not in our engine bay, because if you did not know, I will be Procharging this, and I have a Procharger head unit right here. All that heat is going to want to come out through here, so we want to make sure that that heat stays in the exhaust and doesn't try to come out and try to overheat everything that we have inside the engine bay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm probably going to start on let's see, it'd probably be best to start on maybe back here, even though it's the hardest. We'll get through down here and get that wrapped down to here, all the way back there, and then start again from here to here, and then that one will be complete. And you just want to try to do as long of runs as possible, that way you're not wasting this fiberglass wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys on a time lapse and get started. Alright guys, so I have both sides wrapped and the engine bay is cleaned up one last time. So we are ready to put this bad boy in. The only thing we have to be leery of is making sure we don't smack the frame, the valve covers, and we make sure that our steering shaft doesn't get wedged between the block and the headers. So let's go, guys. Throw you on a time lapse. Finally get the 426 in place. Let's get it. All right, you guys ready? Last bolt. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Come on, dap me up, Jeremy. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, guys. So with the help of Brandon and Brandon's dad, Jeremy, and Ethan, thank you, bro. We got the motor in. Basically, what we did was have a cherry picker underneath the subframe, lifting the motor and transmission up while it was bolted to the subframe, and we just got one bolt in the time started and then jacked it up. And while we were jacking up, we made sure to align the struts. That made it a lot easier for us. And then the last thing we did was the transmission brace. So everything's bolted up. It's completely on its own weight, minus being on wheels, of course. Today, Martha becomes a rolling chassis once again. This is what I've done since last time I updated you guys. So what I did was get the engine set in place. I torqued the subframe bolts to 136 foot-pounds. and I have the wiring harness kind of set in place. I buttoned in anything that I could. Power steering is now in place. Also, what I did was I cleaned up the brake calipers, so they are still red again. They definitely need powder coated once again. But I kind of wiped down the wheels. Well, Sam and I did. Shout out to Sam. So we got these installed, and now we are ready to set this thing back on the ground, and we can roll this thing back, forth, whatever we need to do, because we want to start taking the interior apart. Because after I get flagged after the first pass of running a 10-second car without a roll cage, they're going to be like, what are they going to do, Sam?
Get out of here!
Get out of here! So I plan on getting flagged immediately on the first pass, unless something goes wrong, but I'm not planning for that, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and push this thing out and see if we can kind of pull any interior off, or maybe even start running fuel lines. Maybe we'll see what we can do. I definitely still have to do some more stuff under the car, but that's okay. It only takes 5 seconds to jack the car up and put it back on jack stands. Okay guys, so we have the jack stands removed. Let's show you guys our reaction. You ready, Sam?
Yeah.
So this thing has been on jack stands for a few months now. It's the longest I've ever had this on jack stands. So I'm just excited. She's nasty, bro. Damn!
Dude, this is the first time it's had that much weight in the front in like a year and a half,
Yes,
2
sir.
years.
Come on, give me some. Woo! Yeah, baby. Let's get it.
Look how low it
Holy
sits,
shit,
dude.
bro. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I forgot how low this was. Oh my god.
Mr. Durson, Mr. Durson.
Oh,
So-
hey, I didn't see you there.
So now that you got it on the ground, what are you gonna do?
So like, I'm like just really happy to be here right now, and I don't really know what to do with my hands. I'm really happy to be here right now. Like, I'm just grateful for the opportunities I've been given. Next question.
Sir, you can put your hands down.
Okay.
So what else we gotta do to it?
So, I'm just really happy to be here right now. So I'm just like really happy to be here right now.
Okay,
And,
not that far.
So I'm just like really happy to be here right now, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've been given, and thank you to all my followers.
Sorry, you don't.
We're clear of everything?
Yeah, I think so. Keep it going. Dude.
Look how much lower it is.
Okay, so like this is a 100% like authentic reaction. So the last time we saw this thing, like
It was
August of 2020. Okay, so currently, for reference, what month is it, Sam? And what year?
now? It is May.
May, almost
2022.
almost June of 2022. So it's been
May
almost
20th.
2 years since this thing has been with an engine. That's insane.
On the ground before, without the engine in it, it was like this high.
And on top of that, we had it on jack stands, so it looked a
Yeah.
lot higher.
So it was like this high with Jackson. But oh
Dude.
my God.
This is insane. Wow. That's crazy, bro. Oh, dude, look at the... Holy shit. Look at the tires.
Oh my God.
That's wild, bro. So I'm not really sure where I left off, but here we are. We have the thing back on all fours. All four wheels are tight. We have all four calipers on. 3 of the 4 brake lines for the calipers are hooked up. The driver's side front, I can't hook up yet because as you can see, this is where I cut the brake lines. I'll have to have compression fittings to run across, mount my brake lines, but that will be getting done. So by running anything faster than an 1150, I think is what it is, you have to have a roll cage on anything that's 2014 and older. So I have a 2006, I need to strip my interior, and I need to have a roll cage. So I'm not actually gonna run this thing at first. So I'm gonna have a stripped interior with this 7-liter Procharger Hemi, and we're gonna run and see how fast we can get at the quarter mile, and then obviously we'll get flagged, and I'll have to put a roll cage in, so that'll kind of kill us. So the goal is to have a pass this year and have to go down for a month or two to put in the roll cage. But that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling everything out, see what it's gonna take to pull everything out. It'd be really nice to get my passenger seat out. I don't wanna take out the driver's seat yet, but maybe if I'm able to pull the driver's seat out and then pull the carpet out, I'll do that. But I wanna keep that driver's seat in just in case I need to get in and move the vehicle, so. Okay guys, so I was gonna add a little bit of working on the car after we got it into a roller, but it turned into such good content, and Sam and I are just so funny together when we put together a video, so I had to throw all that stuff in there. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're gonna get started working on it in the next one, and we're gonna get a lot done, and we're really pushing the limits of having this thing done before winter comes, or at least getting it tuned and dynoed and just have to store it for the winter. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate you so much, and stay tuned because we did upload and create a website. So without me making an entire video on it, go ahead and check out my socials. You'll find it. Throw an order if you want to, but I'm going to make a dedicated video describing basically what we did to turn this into an actual business, all thanks to you guys. So that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.